observed that most of the anti-graft agencies are not focusing their emphasis on local government funds. So that is why the ICPC initiated that platform. We are going to design a platform. We are on it now. After recovery, we are going to track, we are going to monitor the financial flow, how they are expending that recovered funds.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Transparency Files. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiai. Local governments are the closest tier of government to the people, designed to deliver development, promote participatory democracy, and improve living standards at the grassroots. However, corruption and weak governance have crippled their effectiveness. Today, ICPC is rewriting that story with its latest initiative, the Accountability and Corruption Prevention Program for Local Governments, ACCP-LG. And that's our area of focus on today's edition of the program. Before we dive deeper into the topic, let's catch up on anti-corruption updates with Ruth Awodi. Later in the program, we will bring you highlights from our state offices and other exciting features. Stay with us.
Welcome to this segment on Anti-Corruption Stories. I am Ruth Awodi. ICPC Lagos State Office has secured the conviction of Ijamilusi Ayodele James for his role in the falsification of documents used in fraudulent applications for United Kingdom visas. The conviction followed credible intelligence from the British High Commission, which alleged that the defendant was responsible for producing forged documents, including invitation and introduction letters, purportedly from Clarivate Analytics and Thomson Reuters, alongside a counterfeit bank statement and payslip. The ICPC's prosecution team, led by Yvonne William Mbata, had in the course of the trial disclosed that the Commission's investigations confirmed that the fraudulent documents were prepared at the request of Dennis Adetoye Adediran and Awoke Nimota Omobolaji, both of whom had earlier been prosecuted and convicted in related cases in 2019 and 2025, respectively. On 7th August 2025, the defendant was arraigned before Honorable Justice R.A. Oshodi at the Ikeja Special Offences Court on a 4-count amended charge of forgery under Section 467 of the Criminal Code Act, Cap C-28, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. He pleaded guilty to all counts under a plea bargain agreement approved by the Commission. Following his plea, the court convicted the defendant and sentenced him to a fine of 1 million naira or 7 days imprisonment on each count, with the sentences to run concurrently. The defendant is required to pay an aggregate fine of 4 million naira into a designated account or serve a custodial term of 7 days in the Kirikiri Maximum Correctional Facility. The court further ordered the biometric registration of the convict in the Lagos State Judiciary Offenders Database and mandated the filing of an affidavit of good behavior at the High Court Registry. In addition, the Commission reserves the right to reopen investigations should he violate the terms of his undertaking or where new facts, undeclared assets, or offences relating to corruption subsequently emerge. This conviction reinforces the Commission's resolve to tackle document fraud, protect the integrity of international travel systems, and uphold the rule of law in Nigeria. In another development, ICPC has formed a strategic alliance with the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, to combat corruption, substandard projects, and building collapses nationwide. The Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, signed at the ICPC headquarters in Abuja by the ICPC Chairman, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, and current President, Engineer Professor Sadiq Zubair Abubakar, signals a united front to enforce strict professional standards and hold violators accountable. Dr. Liu stated that ICPC and Koren were critical in Nigeria and that the Commission has the responsibility to ensure accountability and transparency in the public interest.
When you have development, you need to have good structure. And it is the Koren that regulates and control and train those who are in that space to ensure that we have good quality job in that area. And we know in Nigeria that we are facing challenges in many sectors. We in the Commission, we have the responsibility to ensure that when there are issues around transparency and accountability, we should look at it to ensure that we protect the interests of our country and our people. And also, this is something that is only Nigerian law. Even the international instruments have encouraged agencies like us to work closely with institutions like Koren so that there will be good, harmonious working relationship.
On his part, Engineer Professor Abubakar reaffirmed Koren's readiness to work hand in hand with ICPC to enforce compliance, sanction erring practitioners, and restore confidence in Nigeria's engineering sector.
Because of what all of us know, the high tendencies of infractions, of non-compliance, that touches on very fundamental aspect of our life, infrastructural development. It became very obvious 20 years ago. ICPC and Koren decided to do the obvious, to sign an MOU to be able to make sure that the value chain of enforcement, investigation, sanctions, and the knots were actually carried out, not only by Koren tribunal, but in some cases you have to escalate it to ICPC or even to a court of law that has the proper jurisdiction in any of the aspects or issues that arise. This we have been doing, and ICPC, I must say, have been very diligent in performing their functions as per our MOU.
With this partnership, both agencies are sending a clear message. The era of cutting corners in Nigeria's engineering projects is over. That will be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Murna.
You're welcome, sir. How is the journey?
Fine, officer. I work.
We thank God. From where to where?
From Koaga to Kogwa.
Okay. Can I take a look at your papers, please?
Use this one by Cook, officer.
This is not what I asked for. Just your particulars, please. Your particulars are okay. Okay, sir. Have a nice journey.
So we still have officers that act professionally in this country?
Yes, we do. This country would have been heaven on earth if everyone out here acts true to their professional calling and in strict compliance with due process. See how the officer conducted himself. This is what we should strive to do at all times.
And I do you talk, Baba, this country for better if everyone they do their job professionally. But the truth is, some officers they see their job as chance to chop from government and chop from the masses.
That's true. But you say you should not give bribe. Just make sure your papers are in order.
Yes, that's right. We can all be agents of change and make a positive difference in our communities by doing the right thing always. This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission.
On July 11, 2024, the Supreme Court delivered a landmark judgment granting local governments financial and administrative autonomy. Building on this, ICPC launched the ACCP-LG initiative in April 2025 to strengthen financial management and accountability in all the 774 local government councils. The chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliu SAN, and other stakeholders at the launch have this to say about the initiative.
The need for reform is underscored by a major legal milestone, which is the Supreme Court judgment of 11th July 2024, which affirmed financial autonomy to local governments. This decision ensures the direct disbursement of funds to local government councils, removing undue state interference and creating a crucial opportunity for local governance reform. As an anti-corruption agency, ICPC is committed to ensuring the success of this reform by enforcing compliance with anti-corruption laws and fostering a culture of transparency, accountability, and efficiency. The ACCP-LG assessment framework is built around 5 areas. 1, fiscal transparency. 2, open procurement. 3, human resources. 4, corruption control and citizen engagement. By focusing on these areas, we aim to strengthen governance structure, enhance service delivery, and restore public trust in local government.
The landmark Supreme Court judgment granting local government direct financial control is a significant victory for democracy, transparency, grassroots development. However, autonomy alone is not enough. We must ensure that the resources allocated to local government are prudently and transparently used, free from corrupt practices. And I suppose that's what ICP's chairman is talking all about in his address. As lawmakers, we are fully committed to enacting and strengthening legislation that promotes accountability, transparency, good governance at all levels.
If government must be able to deliver good governance to the Nigerian people, all hands must be on deck to move the government and to move the ship of the Nigerian state forward. Those are comprises the federal government, the state government, and of course local government. In the end, governance is a collective responsibility, as no level of government can do it alone.
I seek the support of the civil society organization and other anti-corruption organizations that are involved as stakeholders in this assignment, that they should also try to give support and sit down some of these anti-corruption agencies that can be used at the local government level by working with the headquarters of the local government. It's going to be very tedious for you to go around the 774 local government, taking into consideration the size of this country. But I believe that the headquarters of the local government is here, and the here is determined. We can always work together the way we are doing with the Center of Transparency and Accurate to solve a lot of problems.
If you're just joining us, this is Transparency Files, ICPC's Public Enlightenment Program. Our focus is still on corruption in the local governments and the initiative launched by the Commission to combat it. ICPC has, through the ACCP-LG initiative, uncovered and remitted taxes, recovered funds running into billions of naira, and exposed fraudulent practices by some local government officials. We had a chat with Mr. Bello Idris Bakori, the ACCP-LG desk officer of ICPC. He sheds more light on the initiative and its successes. Let's take a listen.
Sir, can you please explain the Accountability and Corruption Prevention Program for local governments?
For the local government, because Commission critically observed that we have 3 tiers of government: federal government, federal, state, and local government council. So we observed that most of the anti-corruption agencies are not focusing their emphasis on local government funds. So that is why the ICPC initiated that platform. Under that platform, we designed 5 templates how to track financial flow of local government funds from the federation account up to the local government individual account. Yeah, so that is our first approach in the fight against corruption in local government levels. The expected outcomes of that templates, we designed the template into 5 segments. Templates for comparative analysis between budget and actuals, to ascertain the level of performance of each local government in their budgetary implementations. Another expected outcomes is to ascertain the level of remittances of taxes to the relevant tax authority. So we focus on that. Another expected outcomes is we are going to inspect abandoned project or unexecuted project. So that one is after we have finished with the remittances of the taxes to the relevant tax authorities. Then we are going there for the physical inspections of their projects. Then another template is clearly spell out the classification of their IGR, because we observed that there is a weak performance. There is a underperformance in generating their internally generated revenue. So we designed the template based on the revenue classifications on monthly basis, how much did local government realize in taxes, 10-man rate, earning from commercial undertakings, dividends on their investment, rent on their local government properties, 10% of the grant from the local government. So we designed that template based on that classifications. So after we have finished with the identifying the remittances of taxes to the relevant tax authority, so we are going to focus more on their IGR. We have another template based on capital expenditure. We classified it into 5 sectors: economic, education, health, area development, and repayment of capital loans. So we are going to focus on that to ensure the value of money in their procurement processes and their capital expenditure processes, and to ensure that they are complying with the budgetary provision of the local government based on the capital expenditure.
Have there been any recoveries?
Yeah, we have recovered substantial amounts. So far, out of 5 states, Ministry for Local Government in the 5 states, we recovered getting to 1.2 billion naira now. We are going to design a platform. We are on it now. After recovery, we are going to track, we are going to monitor the financial flow, how they are expending that recovered funds. We are going to do our best to see that the money we recovered, to ensure value for money for that.
What measures is the ICPC putting in place to sustain momentum and prevent local government corruption?
I designed that template based on I utilize all the mandate of the ICPC, both enforcement, prevention, and education plus public enlightenment. Because after the exercise, we are going to organize a town hall meeting to enlighten and educate the public how we track the local government, how ICPC ensure value for money in the local government councils. Because, Khadija, so far in the current fund allocation formula, we have 774 local governments. With this current allocation formula, each local government averagely can get 400 million naira. Multiply that by 774 local governments. If it will give you more than 300 billion naira per month, just external revenue, any fund that is going from federation account, excluding their IGR. So if you multiply that with 774, per annum is getting to 4 trillion naira. So there is the need for the other and grab agencies to come out with the modalities, how to track the illicit financial flow of the local government council funds.
Clearly, the Accountability and Corruption Prevention Program for local governments is a bold step towards making local governments the true engines of grassroots development. As we move towards the end of today's episode, let's join Khadija Ibrahim for updates from our state offices.
From Rivers State comes a report that the ICPC reconstituted the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. The resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Mrs. Ekere Usieri, urged the ACTU members to uphold discipline and accountability. Barrister E.B. Peters administered the oath of allegiance to the members, describing them as the ICPC of the hospital. Dr. Victor Nwagu, the ACTU chairman, pledged commitment to combating corruption within the institution. ICPC Sokoto State Office participated in a nationwide sensitization campaign organized by the National Orientation Agency at the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. Mr. Abdullahi Ibrahim Aliyu of the ICPC underscored the need to strengthen national identity and unity as vital tools in combating corruption and promoting good governance. Coming from Nasarawa State, the Youth Engagement and Mobilization and Student Anti-Corruption Clubs units of the Public Enlightenment and Education Department has conducted a 2-day advocacy visit to key institutions in the state. The visit aimed to mobilize support for establishing student anti-corruption clubs across schools. An advocacy visit was also made to the Commissioner of Education to secure unrestricted school access. And from Akwa Ibom, the resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Mr. Baba Alaru Shuaibu, has sensitized the staff and management of the Federal Ministry of Works in the Federal Secretariat Complex, Uyo. He gave a brief on the mandates of the ICPC and further expressed the need for the officials of the ministry to collaborate with the ICPC to establish frameworks for corruption prevention in their service through the conduct of system study and corruption risk assessments.
And that's how far we can go on this week's edition of Transparency Files. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and catch previous episodes on our YouTube channel at ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for watching. See you again next week. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai saying bye for now.